Hi guys, it's Emil, and this week's topic is trans visibility and the issues with the representation we have in the media. My voice is a bit freaked up today, so you're gonna have to excuse me if I sound a bit weird. That's because I had an appointment with a speech therapist this morning. It's something that the trans healthcare here provides you with after you've had your diagnosis. We recorded my range today in terms of how strongly I can speak and how weakly I can speak, and like the pitches that I can reach. And some changes have already happened to my voice, or like started to happen because of testosterone. So yeah, my voice is a bit weird right now and I feel like I shouldn't be speaking for the rest of the day, but I have to record this video. So anyway, I've made a short list of things that bother me with the representation that trans people currently have in the media. One thing is the I always knew narrative, as I like to call it, and that is that I feel like many of the trans people stories that we see in the media are trans people who always knew that they were trans. They knew since they were a kid, or they knew very early on that they were trans. And that is a valid narrative that a lot of people do have, so it's not bad or anything like that, but also a lot of people don't share that narrative. And I keep hearing about these trans kids that come out to their parents, and the parents are like, but you can't be trans because you didn't show any signs when you were little. You didn't always know. You can't be trans. And that is just not how it works. So I would really love to see stories about trans people who didn't always know that they were trans, because a lot of people don't, and they realize later in life. And it's important that people know that that is a valid narrative, and it's actually really common. Another thing that really bothers me is the fact that in the media we mostly see binary, passing, straight, and white trans people. I don't think I have to explain to you why this bothers me, but I would really just like to see non-passing or non-binary people, non-white people. I mean, we do have some non-white people, like Laverne Cox and Janet Mock, just off the top of my head. Those are the ones I can remember and that I know of. But I would really like to see more. I would really like to see more non-white trans-masculine people, more non-binary people, people who don't pass, people pre-transition who are still using their correct pronouns and their correct name, just to normalize it. It would be great. And also, of course, trans people that aren't straight, because it's quite a common assumption that a trans person has to be straight, like a trans guy has to like girls, and that is really not how it works at all. Like, trans people are just like any other people, can have any sexuality. So I would really like to see that represented a lot more. And another thing that bothers me, but that I also simultaneously understand why it is that way, is that a lot of the times when we see trans people as, characters in fiction, their character arcs or the story that they're in centers around the fact that they're trans. Now, this can be good because it can really show the struggles that trans people have to face and what being trans is like, but I would also like to see, together with, I definitely want to see stories about being trans, and I don't mind that at all, but I would like there to be a mix. So I would like there to also be trans characters whose stories and the things that happen to them and the stories that they are in don't center around the fact that they're trans. I would like a trans character whose transness is just a detail about them, and it's not their entire life. And I would like for them to be living a normal life where being trans is not really that big of a deal to them. Now, obviously, the way our society works makes being trans a big deal for a lot of people, especially for people who don't pass, for people who, face discrimination on a regular basis because of other reasons. And I agree that it's important to show trans people's stories that do center around them being trans, or that do have their transness incorporated in the stories, because there's always some people will tell you that you're not only trans, why are you talking about being trans all the time, or why are you talking about being gay all the time, we get it, but the thing is that we're not the ones that make this a huge part of our lives. It's society that makes being trans or being gay, being LGBT a part of our life, a big part of our lives. And I feel like that's why we talk about it all the time, because society makes it so that it influences us all the time. Like if I didn't have to think about what bathroom I'm gonna go into or who might, you know, attack me if I reveal that I'm trans, it would not be a big deal to me, but it is, and it's not my fault. So yeah, those are some of the things that bother me with the representation we currently have in the media, but I also want to say that I really feel like we're going in the right direction with this. I feel like the past few years, trans representation has taken a step forward, and we definitely have more trans people out there in the media that are like talking about the struggles of the trans community and all that, and I feel like we're becoming more visible, and I think we're going in the right direction. And no doubt is it going to take time, and it's a process, just like Spencer talked about in their video. It is a process, but I think we're going in the right direction, and even though nothing is perfect, and we should definitely recognize that it's not perfect and talk about the fact that it isn't perfect, I think there definitely is hope for us in terms of visibility and all that. Before I go, I also want to mention that you should definitely check out our Indiegogo page where we are selling shirts. You can see all of the shirt designs if you go to the page. I'll put a link in the description. They are really cool. I love them so much. They are gorgeous. I can't wait to get mine. And if you're going to the Philadelphia Trans Health Conference in June, you can also see us there. We'll be having a table. You can come there, you can chat with us. You'll be able to buy shirts there as well. And stickers also. And yeah. Go check it out, there's a link in the description. The shirts are really cool, I promise you. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Love you, bye.